Alright guys, I'm here to make a review about the Age of Empires 4 in-game preview. It says that it's all captured in-game engine, so there's no cinematics, trailer or anything. It's all being part of the game, so I'm going to analyze what we can expect from Age of Empires 4 as an Age of Empires 2 player and an Age of Empires series enthusiast. I'm a big fan of Age of Empires 1, I'm a big fan of Age of Mythology, I'm a big fan of Age of Empires 2, but I cannot forgive Age of Empires 3. Well, it has some advances, but mostly it was a failure, unfortunately. Anyway, let's keep going. It seems that this game is based on Age of Empires 2, and when I say that, I said because most of the mechanisms are very similar to Age of Empires 2. The buildings, the units, the age within its featured, and all the thematics. It feels like we might just get a glimpse of gunpowder units like we just had in Age of Empires 2. So Age of Empires 4 seems like a natural upgrade of Age of Empires 2. But of course, if it fails, we still have the Age of Empires 2 to play. Anyway, let's make the analysis. So we are starting here, and I want to point out something. Hills and elevations have some incredible graphics. I don't know if this is an in-game engine, the first one. This screen, for example, I don't believe it's an in-game capture. I'm not sure about it. One thing that I'm trying to take a look is how are the forests going to be disposable here. Displayed, I don't know, forgot the word. Anyway, my biggest question is this wood here, this wood line, is it possible to walk inside of it, or is it a dense mass of trees like we have in the Age of Empires 2, like you won't be able to go inside of it and walk inside of it. This changes a lot because if this is a dense forest, you can just block this passage, for example, by making a wall right here. If it's not, you can't. There's also what seems to be a small treasure here, similar to the treasures of Age of Empires 3. So I wonder if we're going to have those random treasures spawned on the map, and how random that will be. What if you just found like 100 wood close to your TC while your opponent has like nothing? So this will be interesting. I also feel like there won't be the concept of experience points in this game like we had on Age of Empires 3. At least that's what I'm thinking, but let's take a look. There comes the scout, we get through it. Alright, the scout keeps walking, and what I find interesting is that the scout here, guys, he's able to see a foundation of something. Are we in the maximum quality? No, we are not. Oh my god, why? Okay, ooh! Oh, that's nice. Anyway, we can see that he's seeing a foundation of something. I just don't know what it is. We keep going. The scout comes here and he can see some gold. So this is the gold pile. I like that this gold pile resembles a lot the gold piles from Age of Empires 1. Exactly. Age of Empires 2 gold piles were way shorter, different. But this one truly resembles Age of Empires 1 gold mine. It's also a bit of Age of Empires 3 as well. It's way different from Age of Empires 2 and Age of Mythology. The texture of the water looks beautiful. The different color on the leaves from all those trees is also very beautiful. Anyway, guys, I will just link this trailer here so you can all watch in HD and enjoy it. There goes the scout. You can see there's some deers. And we are going to see now, guys, preview between the Dark Age preview between the English and the Delhi Sultanate. So English are one of the civilizations, of course. They're going to they are basically the Britons that we have access to, and Delhi Sultanate seems to be a more historically accurate description of the Indian civilization that we had in both Age of Empires 3 and Age of Empires 2. And that's very interesting because this is the Dark Age, and we are seeing that in the Dark Age you just have a regular start as we usually have on the other Age of Empires, especially Mythology and Age of Empires 2, and Age of Empires 1 as well. You start with a town center, 3 villas, and 1 scout. That's the standard. There are some foundations here around the TC. I still haven't realized if those foundations if you can build here, like can I put my farm here like I would make in Age of Mythology and Age of Empires 2, or I can't, and I will just be forced to add my farms close to the mill. We can also see a big pile of stone and another big pile of gold. So these are going to be our main resources. Different from Age of Empires 2, it seems that we are just going to hit the solid rock, a single solid rock, like the concept we have in Age of Empires 3 and Age of Mythology. Alright, so here we have the villager building something, a lot of idols. And let's see, it seems that we have 4.10 population, there's a lot of resources here. This is a mill being built, that's the mill animation, and once the villager build a mill, we can right here see that he gathers a basket and he go there to take the berries. So this is very important because it means that the mechanic of having to make buildings in order to collect resources will be present on this game. That's a mechanic that you have in Age of Empires 1, that you have in Mythology, that you also have in Age of Empires 2. But in Age of Empires 3, if you guys recall, the villagers, the settlers, they wouldn't need a dropping site, you know. So they could just keep gathering the resources whenever they were. There was no walking time. You didn't have to build those structures. And I feel like this is a big part of Age of Empires gameplay. So I'm very enthusiastic about this and I approve. Now we see a villager building a lumber camp. Oh my god, look at these animations. It's beautiful, huh? And we can see the villagers here chopping trees. By the position of this building, we still can't know if we can go into the forest or not. We can also see that the minimap can be rotated, a mechanic that is present in the Age of Empires series since Mythology, and it's quite good for microing and getting some different point of view. In some fights and so on. There we can see another building been built, that's the mining camp, and now we can see some interesting stuff. First interesting stuff, the relic. It resembles a lot the concept of Age of Empires 2, and one other thing that I would like to see is that the scouting mechanic, especially for the ship, is different. In the past, I remember that we could just send the ship scouting, but it seems that we are going to have a new ship mechanic where the ship are going to follow the scout. We're about to see more of that. Look at this. So here comes the scout, and there are 2 ships following him. Does this mean that you won't be able to drop the ship or send them to your TC? You're probably going to rely on the scouts to get in close to the town center in order to give you the ship? That might be the case. And once he sees the ship and it gets in his line of sight, the ship instantly starts to follow the scout. So this new mechanic might be helpful versus lemming, and I don't know what would happen if an enemy saw my scout here together with the ship. But another interesting thing is that the speed of the ship, guys, is different. When they are following the scout, they're just walking as fast as the scout. So basically this means that it will be harder for your enemy to lame your ship. I like that. We can see the villagers collecting the berries. Oh, there you go. There's the mechanic. It seems that in order to be able to collect the ship, the scout has to drop the ship on the mill or on a gathering point, maybe a town center. Now the question that stays is, are we going to still eat the ship like we did in Age of Empires 2 and Age of Mythology, or are we going to have some mechanic to fatten those little bastards a bit, like we had in Age of Mythology and Age of Empires 3. In Age of Empires 3, I believe that it was even a building where you could place your ships inside, so that's quite unique. Anyway, we show that. Now we can see a villager building another building. This seems to me like a Dark Age house, of course. That's the lumber camp, the mining camp, and look how different this is. This scout actually killed a deer. And the thing is, this scout is like a cavalry archer. He was able to kill the deer using an arrow in Dark Age. This is probably a mistake because you are just going to go there and start lemming the enemy deer so easily with a scout that is also a ranged unit and can also hit the hunt. I find this to be very interesting. But look at this. It seems that there is a mechanic that you can use your scout to kill the deer, place the deer on the back of your scout, and then walk to the mill. So that's actually a new mechanics. We also have some small farm here. The villagers still walk inside the farms. and it's one villager per farm, so we're sticking to Age of Empires 2 concept. The deer meat has been brought to the mill, so the scout is also an economical unit. Different, right? We can see now the villagers building something here. Is it a barracks? Okay, I don't know. Walls being built. This is also very interesting. We have palisades. We have big ass palisades. Ah, that's beautiful. I'm going to try to build like lots of them. There's also some outposts being built there. And oh, look at this! You found an enemy outpost, and the scout now found a group of vills. He will try to attack the enemy villagers with his sword. Remember, guys, that we are talking here about Dark Age. We are still in the Dark Age preview, so different from Age of Empires 2, it seems that we are going to have access to scouts and spearmen. Those are clearly spearmen from the Dark Age. So this is intense, huh? This might force the game to be a lot more fast-paced compared to the other Age of Empires, you know. We can see some units here, some infantry. It seems to be men-at-arms. They have shields, they have swords. We can also see some scouts from the Delhi Sultanate together with some spearmen going to attack the men-at-arms. And now look at this. There are some archers firing here, but those archers wear dress and are quite cute. So it seems like the villagers now can use arrows to help defending the city. That's a new mechanic that exploits the usage of arrows, and that's quite unique. That's always something that people complain. Why can't the villagers shoot more, but they cannot shoot the enemy? Now the villagers can shoot the enemy, which is interesting. See? Yeah, the cuties are shooting the. Oh my god, look at this. Huh? The male villager is hiding behind the female ones. Come on, dude, be brave. Stand in front of them. All right. We are seeing a big building being made here. What the fuck is this? It's fucking huge. Alright, once this build is made... Is that a church or something? Are we in the next stage? I don't know. Anyway, you can do a lot of things in the Dark Age. That's quite interesting. The Dark Age before was just an age that you would skip. Would be basically an age to collect resources, make some walls, and if you were more competitive or aggressive, you could make the militia one kind of army. So it seems that we are going to have access to multiple kind of armies during Dark Age. Walls and other buildings. So in Dark Age, we are going to have a lot more stuff happening. Now let's take a look on the Feudal Age play. One thing that I didn't like about the Feudal Age is that people seems to stop a bit with the view mechanics, but we can still have some glimpses on something. Look at this. This small building here, guys, from the Mongols, and this is the Mongol setup, seems to be away somewhere where you just keep your sheep. And those sheep seems a lot more fatty than the initial ones. So it seems that the mechanic here will be you eat the berries first, you eat the deers first, and you let your sheep getting fat so you can get more food out of them. So that's what I see here. Also, the Mongols are quite unique in their concept. You have also this unit which seems to be a can, or I don't know, maybe not this one, this is the scout, but I saw a can in some of the other footages. We have some views collecting the gold here. Oh, that's interesting. Let's go back. It seems that the Mongol might have a unique building, a unique economical building. We can see here that this villager is dropping the gold into this building. Those villagers are dropping the food on this building. So this specific building here might act both as a mining camp and also as a lumber camp, it seems, because there's also a villager getting some lumber to here. So Mongols, guys, will have a unique building that gives you access to that allows you to drop food, gold, and also wood. So this is going to be awesome. If you manage to make a building between the berries and the gold, between the wood and the gold, you are just going to save yourself some wood. And this will also help this civilization to be more effectively on their resource usage. So quite unique building. I don't know what the name of that will be. Maybe resource tent, or I don't know, ceiling. I don't know how we're going to call it. But that's what we can see from the scene. There we go, the villagers dropping there. Now we are in the feudal age, guys, and we have access to some units with Brevi spears. They resemble a lot the steppe lancers that we know. So those are the. We also have some pikemen. What seems to be some pikemen here. The villagers killing. And what the fuck is this? Uvu is depleted. What the fuck is this? Whoa! There's some building that makes something, and the building suddenly vanishes. And then you can build another one. And what happens after you build one of those? Oh, I see. It seems, guys, that this building that was built here is the building that allows the Mongols to use their nomad mechanic. Once the villager build vanishes and the villager build a new one, you can just gather your buildings and move. Make a huge migration with all of your buildings. Look at this. All of the buildings are packed here like the town centers from Age of Empires 3, the carts, you know. And there you go. The exception seems to be the economical building here. Makes sense. The foundations are left there. You come here and you start a new town from here. So that's a very interesting mechanic. We can see some enemies coming to attack now. There you have the views dropping this unique building. There comes the view, towers firing at the scouts. And it seems that you can actually put up to 2 views inside of the tower instead of 3, instead of 5 that you could put in Age of Empires 2. So you can only protect 3 views here. I don't like this. I wish I could place more views there. And also, it seems that the units are way weaker, guys, because now they cannot just take down buildings using only swords. They actually put some torches on and kill the buildings like in Age of Empires 3. Well, that's nice. The buildings are on fire. And another thing is, once we saw that the buildings are on fire, does this mean that these buildings will start to burn down until they are dead? Or if the enemy stops attacking, you can just use the buildings without having to repair or something? Does this fire mean something, something else? I wanted to answer that. Anyway, the scouts are fighting here. They were able to defend your town. And there we have some horses here. This seems to be the trade cards, and it seems that you are able to make some trade with a market. The only thing that I haven't realized yet is this is a market from Gaia, this is a market from nature. Are markets going to be some neutral instances in the map? Because if that's the case, and it seems to be, because this market is giving like no line of sight at all, it means that will have potentially a way of generate infinite gold during the game, even in 1v1. So this also changes how 1v1 works a lot. But we were not able to see. We have the units being trained, archers, scouts seeing. Guys, this is very unique. Look at this. It seems that once you have a scout in a high ground, the high ground will grant you extra line of sight. For example, this scout here is in the top of the hill, so he can see all the units that are going under it. Now we are going to have another example of that. Look at this. We have forests here. It seems that we have some mechanisms to hidden the army there. That was what I was wondering. I don't know if all the forests will be like this, but this one specifically is one that you can hide your units. We are hiding the units, but it seems that the units that are hidden here will have extra line of sight. Look at this. From the point of view of player 2, the red, he has no line of sight on the forest. But if you take a look on the units that are on the forest, they seem to have extra line of sight. So battling for vision and controlling is going to add a new strategical element to the game, which is what's been shown here. Not just an ambush, but the use of the line of sight advantage of being hidden or getting in hills. So dominating strategical positions like this will also be very helpful, and I like that. There you go, that's what I was talking about. Look at this guy, this very special guy here. He is called Hardened Can. It seems that you are going to receive a can when you play as the Mongol. We can see a glimpse of the formations here. And the thing is, the can guys also have some special skills like Q, W, E. It seems to be the defensive stances, but we also have the formations. You can also choose to upgrade his HP, it seems, or maybe it's just a small stat. Anyway, the can also seems to flare something. I don't know if it's a special skill to grant his team extra line of sight. And I don't know if the can being together with a group adds some attributes to them like extra mobility, extra attack, extra speed. I don't know. What I know is the can just uses his ability to gain extra line of sight. So line of sight and the battle for the view of the map will be huge in this Age of Empires. There we go. The Ken is fighting. It seems that he has an awesome range. Way better than the regular Mongol. And guys, that's also something that I want to point out. We are seeing the Mongols here, and this unit, there's no mistake. That's the Mongol. That's not just a regular cave archer. Look at the brown horses. Look at this durag they are using. So cool, right? And these are the Mongol. It seems that already on Feudal Age, you are going to have access to units that previously we only had on Castle Age, like the Mongol, the Steppe Lancers, and it seems that each of the civilizations are going to look very unique. That's what we could see by the Feudal Age gameplay from the Mongols. Alright, what's this being built? There's this kind of building, which is a market. This looks to me like a market, right? Anyway, that's the Mongols. We could see the ship once again. And let's go now to the Castle Age with a small confrontation between the Delhi Sultanate and the English. So, the first thing that I want to point out here is that those elephants look a lot like the Persian elephants because of their armor, but they also look like a lot like the battle elephants from the Vietnamese, from the Khmer, from Age of Empires 2. We also can see and identify here a battering run, and look how interesting that is. We are going to take a lot of information from this fight here. First, the gate. The gate, guys, is not large as it used to be in Age of Empires 2. Look at the size of the gate. You won't be able to pass a huge army here. You are going to pass the army, but a bit slower. And it seems that the gate mechanic, I don't know how it's going to work, but we can also see the archer mechanic being used. Another information that we have here is that we have access to two kinds of walls. In Age of Empires 1, you could only build one kind of wall and then you upgraded it. On Age of Mythology as well, and on Age of Empires 3, that was also the case. But here in Age of Empires 4, you might have the palisade wall, which is the one that we can see in the back, while we are also going to have the stone wall, which is the one that we're seeing in the front. This, guys, is a watchtower, and those towers here, I don't know if all this building here, from this tower to the other one, is a gate, or if you can just place a gate, a small one like this, and this area between here is just a regular wall. I don't know how this works. Also, what I want to know is how do you put the archers on the wall? Is there a limit for the archers to be on the walls? Do they gain some bonus from being in the walls? If your enemy climbs into your wall, can he do something? I don't know. We also can spot a castle here in the back. Anyway, let's see here. We can also see the arrows targeting the elephants. That's a cool animation. And also, it seems that we can actually place like 16 views inside of a battering run. Sorry, 16 army. That's different. Anyway, we can also put up to 8 soldiers on those, what's the name of that? Siege towers. The siege towers here looks beautiful, and I believe that of course, you won't be able to place like infantry and archer units, no mounted units here, I hope. There we go. We have here the archers. They are firing at the elephants. The elephants are hitting these. The battering run as well. It seems from this animation that this small structure here is the gate. You can see you also can see a small gap here between those two buildings. So I believe this to be a single wall. And I believe that this tower, guys, that is together in the wall, is something tower wall or watchtower, guard tower, I don't know. This seems like a special kind of tower that you can only build together with your walls. Maybe this is also the mechanism that allows you to place archers inside of the walls. We don't know yet. What we know is that the cavalry can actually target this tower as well. Let's take a look. There we go, and we're going to see now the siege tower dropping units on the walls. There we go. They are dropping the unit on the walls. This one seems to be, we can see here some crossbowmen. We can see some long swordsmen. And here, this to me seems to be a priest. We can also see that they are battling here on the wall. The castle is firing there. Huh? The units that are actually actively shooting show some small animation here. Look at this. Look at those guys. It seems to me that they are converting or healing something. Those are the priests for sure. The gate is down. It seems that all of this structure was the gate. What I want to know now is that, oh, I see. Look at this, look at this. The units, guys, they can climb over the broken walls. And they can climb down as well. Very nice. We can see now that the elephants here from Delhi Sultanate are going to siege the castle. We have some pikemen trying to get the elephant down, but of course, once you lose your walls, guys, look how much of a disadvantage it is. If you allow your enemy to take your walls, this might actually be very bad. I wonder myself, can you delete these walls when you have enemies up on that? Because if you can't, you are just giving a natural elevation to your enemy. So this is quite interesting. Huh? Walls can be a tactical disadvantage in this case. Alright, the castle is down with a beautiful animation. Delhi Sultanate is going to take this game. Let's take a look on the Delhi Sultanate hometown. They are building something. Seems to be what, a temple? I don't know. Now finally let's go for the Imperial Age gameplay between Chinese and Mongols. Beautiful temple. What's this? I don't know. The one thing, guys, that I have to note is it seems that we have two different kind of views in the Chinese. Look at this. We seem to have the villagers here with these big hats, look like Raiden from Mortal Kombat. They are taking here the farms. And there are also those guys that I don't know what they are doing, but they just seems to be walking around the town. Maybe, I don't know, charging taxes or something. It's way different, right? I don't know what this unit is. Look at this. Now we have see some units. This guy with a big ass cannon is a hand cannoneer, of course. We have here some chakunu or some crossbows or arbalests. Anyway, an archer here from the Chinese. Now we have some infantry with this weapon that I don't know the name. And some cavalry, some lancers there. Look at this. This is interesting. This unit seems to be like a siege one, and it will probably follow the example of the what's the name of that? The organ gun from Age of Empires. It's quite interesting. This one, this big one here, what it is? A trebuchet, maybe a cannon that you are going to. But it seems to be different from this other one. I don't know. The Chinese might have some crafty siege. They were the ones to give Genghis Khan his siege, right? And there, talking about Genghis Khan, we can see the Mongol horde approaching. We can see lots of those units. Others with the other brown horses here seems to be a different one. The Khan is there. Chinese are mounting their defense. You know, man, I don't know if you watched Troy, the movie, but it totally feels like the Chinese are going for a Troy kind of game. Like, let's just go outside of the walls to face the enemy. Like, why, man? Stand in the fucking walls. Why are we going outside of the walls? Anyway, none of my business, right? There goes the Khan. He sends his signal, probably getting the line of sight over the enemies. Now we can see the Chinese showing all of their units. Alabards, hand cannoneers, some horses in the flanks. Mongols advances in the front line with some heavy cavalry. They can use some different kind of formations here to attack. And now we're about to see something interesting. I believe that some of those Lancer units might have the same concept of attack as the Costilier from the Burgundians of Age of Empires 2. The reason is, it seems that they are just going to land some massive damage over some units in their first charge. They're fighting, they are just trading blows here. Look at this. Okay. We can see infantry moving, big battle, fight, firing, cannons. Oh, the arrows are killing. The cannons just trying to do something. Another stuff there. Oh, look at this infantry. There we go. This is the part I wanted to show you. This, to me, guys, it seems to me that they're just going to one-shot all of those archers. See? See? Let's go back. Oh! They are just shooting once. And it seems that they were able to kill all these units within one shot. I don't believe that this unit is so strong. I believe that this unit has the same mechanic of a charging attack. That's what happened here. We can see a horse dying here. And only now, after losing half of his army, Genghis Khan is going to unpack his trebuchets. I guess we could have teach Genghis Khan some skills, right? You start with the siege first, motherfucker. There you have the trebuchets, but no, it was just a bait. He has huge reinforcements coming. Come on, and look at this. It seems that the Mongols already are using some kind of primitive cannon here. Boom! There we go. So that's one of the units that was probably packed over there. And it seems that those primitive cannons are not going to be mobile units such as the bombard cannons from Age of Empires 2. They are actually going to be somewhat of a static siege, like the trebuchet. That's interesting. Are those guys still static, or can they move? I think that they can move because of the wheels, but they can just move and fire, or you have to change the stance between firing and moving. So I don't know how the mechanics of this unit will also work. For now, they seem very static, but that's just a trailer. There you can see the army coming. Uh-oh, the gate's down. We can also see the extension of the gate, but the Chinese also have an army here. I guess we are never going to know who won the fight. Oh, maybe we know, because look at this, how interesting. There's a huge statue here. When you were watching the Dark Age gameplay, which seems to just be looking at a small statue, it seems that once you go to Imperial Age, that was the small one, you can get some huge statue. Is this the wonder? I don't know. I wonder. There we can, oh, look at this, This is great, huh? You know, you were red. Then you were trying to fight versus yellow. Blue is coming to kill you as well. Meanwhile, your ally, the green, is just booming. So we already know what happened here. There was someone booming, and he just allows red to get doubled. Typical. We can see some fight here close to this town. It seems to be the Mongol town. Or maybe not. Maybe the Delhi one because of the elephants. Oh, come on. Really? Before we go to that, look at this. Elephant killing the unit. He just uses the... what's the name of this part of the elephant? I forgot. Trompa, I don't know. Pra mim isso aqui é tromba, mano. The tromba of the elephant. And he just one hits the unit. And look at this mechanic, how interesting. It seems that the relics can be used to give area conversions to the monks. That's exactly what I'm saying. It seems that once the monks come here and he actually gets to do something with the relic, he can do a massive conversion if he gets access to this area. Look what's going to happen here. Boom! All the units suddenly have turned to red. So yeah, this is going to be key, man. Look at this. Look at this. What the fuck mechanical is that? What the fuck is this? A massive conversion. How toxic is that? Right? The fight goes on. That's Age of Empires 4. Well, guys, I hope you have enjoyed. We could see some of the mechanics, some of the things, how it's going to work. We spotted that Mongols have one unique unit. Another thing that I spotted is that Mongols probably will have no access to walls. We haven't seen a single wall from the Mongols. Think about that. They're going to be a mix between Mongols and Huns. GG. Hope you guys enjoy it. We can see another kind of videos there, and that's the end.